Hey, this is DifferenceInSkill bringing you a Symphogear deck profile for Weiss Schwarz. The deck is a tricolor deck consisting of red, blue, and yellow. So first we're going to start with the climax cards. The climax cards would be 4 red gates. Gates always come in red. It's a 1k1, so it gives everything 1k power and 1 soul, as well as being the gate trigger, which is probably the best trigger in the game, allowing you to +1 off of it and not overswing. Then we have 4 of this Hibiki climax card. This climax card is, the main purpose of running this climax card is for your level 3 climax combo, which will be explained later. This is also a 1k1, but it's also a win trigger, allowing you to bounce annoying cards should the situation arise. Okay, now we're going to start with level 0s. First we have 2 of these level 0 Tsubasa supports. The effect is give everything in front 500 and allow you to tap 2 cards to choose anything in your front row to gain another 500 as well as an extra level. Now the extra level synergizes with the deck, some deck combos that you will see in later parts of this deck profile. Next we have 2 of this Tsubasa Brainstorm as well as support. It gives a 500 boost to all music traits during your opponent's turn only. Now the entire deck is basically music traits. There's probably like maybe 1 card that's not a music trait. As well as being a booster, it also is a Brainstorm. So it's pay 1, mill 4 for every climax, search out a weapon trait, and ditch 1 card. Add it to your hand and then ditch another card. Now, this card is really good because it's a 2-in-1 combo, booster and brainstorm. There's not many brainstorms. Most brainstorms will do, you play it, it'll brainstorm, and there's a jack shit card that'll just stand there for like the rest of the game until you play over it or ram it. So, really good. Next we have 2 of these Hibiki tuners. The effect is you play it, pay 1, search your deck for any music trait, and then ditch a card. Common, pretty obvious use. Use it to tailor your hand to what you need it to be. Then we have 1 red Miku Brainstorm. This is a tap 1 Brainstorm, so it's a +1. You tap it, mill 4 for every climax, add a card in your waiting room, add a character from your waiting room to your hand. 1-1-1 because generally, in my opinion, spambles are slightly better because unless you got that, because the main reason for brainstorming is to pay out either a climax card or to thin your deck when you run out of climax cards. So being a spammable, usually when you attack, unless your last attack put the climax card in, spam of tap 1 non-spammable brainstorm is not as useful as say this spammable brainstorm, which you can use as many times as you have the stock. Alright, next we have 4 name red person, whose name I forgot. That's okay, I'll remember it halfway through. Kanade, there you go, Kanade. This is your standard 0-0 suicide, let's crash when you attack. It's also the bonus effect, which is when it gets reversed, you may pay 2 to salvage any Tsubasa from your waiting room. Any card with the name Tsubasa. This Tsubasa. Basically, all your blue cards are Tsubasas. This lets you easily get supports, which is basically, as you notice, all your supports are Tsubasas, so easily lets you get supports when you need them. Next we have 4 Hibiki runners. This card is OP as hell. I'll be like, it's OP. Basically, what a runner does is, this one has a cost of, you mill the top card of your deck, right? And so long as it's music trait, which is everything in the deck, you can run, at the start of your opponent's attack phase, you can move this to any slot in the front row. Now, the reason why this is so good is because when you're running, but basically at level 0, right, you don't want to, it lets you keep your hand size at level 0 by constantly running away from your opponent, so you don't have to So let's say, like normally you'd play this, you attack, next turn it would die, you have to play another card next turn. This, you don't have to do any of that shit. Just play it, attack, your opponent attacks, oh bitch, I'm over here. And then next turn, you don't have to play another card. You keep your hand size, which is very good in this game, I hear. So yes, 1-4. Okay, now we're leading on to level 1s. First, we'll start with 3 of these yellow hibikis. This card, you generally will never play level 1. The effect is, you play it, it gains, you can take 1 damage from the top of your deck, and it will gain 1 level, and also gain 3k. Now, on paper that sounds like shit, and it is shit, but it also allows you, in this deck, it allows you to change into your level 3 with your event, because the change is you play the event and any level 2 hibiki changes into a level 3 hibiki, which is hella good, I heard. So you run 3. This is also a good combo with this, right? You tap it, tap this, give it this, it'll gain level, and then you play the change, and it'll change into the level 3 hibiki. Next we have 4 Tsubasas and 3 Kanades.
A bit.
Okay. These 2 cards come together, aptly named the Wombo combo for some reason. But basically the effect is simple. If you have this on the field, this gains 2k for every one of these you have on the field on your opponent's turn only. And if you have this on the field, this will gain 500 for every one of these on the field on both turns. And also, this will as well gain Ditch a Character Encore. Now, this is really good for your level 1. Basically, a common field setup would be something like 2 of these and 1 of these. So these will be 7Ks, and level 1 7Ks by itself, like if no boosters, is really hard to get over. And assuming you have boosters, so you'll have like 1 of these, 1 of these, right? These are 8K now. 8K level 1 is your opponent will have to spend a good healthy amount of resources to get rid of them. And then even if he kills this one, which will be like this will be 7.5, which is still a decent attack, right? Even if he kills it, you can just ditch 1 to Encore back next turn. Now, the reason why you only run 4, I run 4 of these and 3 of these, is because mainly to make room for my level 2 and 3 lineup, as well as cost 1 stock, so and that's ditch Encore, so you don't need to run 4. And you have so many ways. This is a Kanari, right? So yeah, but basically it's also a weapon trait, so you can search it with this. You can salvage it with your climax cards. It's also a music trait, so you can search it with this, with this. So yeah, you have lots of ways of getting it. So 3, you can run 4 if you feel like it, but I generally never have a problem running 3. I'm talking too fast. I'm talking too fast. Okay. Okay, now we're on to level 2s. Start with the I run 2 of these. This is your 2-1. It's just a generic, you play it if you need an extra attack basically. It's your AK beater. The effect is really good. When you have 4 or more music traits on the field, which should be like easy as hell because your entire deck is music, you send the top card of your deck into your stock. So basically what this is a 2-0 8K. Really good. It also allows you to pay out climaxes. Let's say you have a whole bunch of stock here and one of them is a climax. You can play out that climax and you can put a different card to replace it, which probably hopefully won't be a climax. So that's also good. Next we have your level support. I run 2 because it's a Tsubasa, so you know you can salvage it with this, search it with this, yada yada yada. This is probably one of the better level supports out there. Level supports, as you know, is 500 times the level to whatever's in front. And this effect is when it comes into play, you tap it, and then you take the top card of your deck and put it underneath as stock, as a marker. And this marker can be used as stock for any of your event cards. So yeah, that's basically it. So then let's move on to the event cards. First we have your counters. You run 3. I run 3 as per my preference. You can run 4 if you feel like it. 3, 2, 1. Choose anything when you're attacked. Choose any one of your cards to gain 4k, and you have the option to send whatever it reversed to stock. Now, generally speaking, giving your opponent free stock is a bad idea, but if he has something really annoying that he's probably gonna encore, you can send it to stock to negate his ability to encore. Okay, next we go to the event change. This is your change. So this is the change I'm talking about. If you wanna change this into your B key, right? It's gotta be level 2, but so then you use this effect or the Subasa's effect, make it level 2, play this, change into your level 3, which is this, and then your level 3 will gain 1k power till the end of your turn. So yeah, really good. It changes, of course, changes always come from your waiting room. Remember that. Now I only run 2 because it's an event and it's somewhat situational event. So if you draw too many, it'll be a hell of a dead draw and really bad for you. So yeah, 2 is good. Now we move on to level 3s. 4 Hibikis of this level 3 Hibiki. The effect is, on play, heal 1 card from your clock. Very good. Healing is always good, makes people happy, makes your opponent mad. Now the Climax combo is hella good. When you play the Climax card, this card will gain 1.5k till the end of your opponent's turn. So at the end of your turn, after all is said and done, it'll be 11.5, right? So good ability to stay on the field even on your opponent's turn. Now the effect is, when you attack, you may search your deck before you trigger check. Search your deck for any music trait. Now this is a music trait, so you can search out extra Hibikis. Now this is a break even because this is a 1k1, but let's say you have 2 on the field, 3 on the field. You play the Climax. You plus 2, and then you probably get up 3 more level 3s. That's 3 more heals you can do to make your opponent mad. So yeah, 1, 4. And then the last 4, level 3 Miku. This card is also fairly decent. You play it, heal 1, so yeah, feel free. Music trait, feel free to search it out to heal more if you feel like it. And the other effect is, when you play an event card and it reverses, so say you play Gungnir for some reason, or like you play this on your turn, event counters you can play on your turn, in case anybody didn't know. When this card it gains an extra 1k, and this doesn't even have to be on this. You can put this on some random other lower being that can't kill anything, and then maybe able to kill something. And this will gain a k, and the effect is, when this reverses something, so it reverses, say it reverses this on your opponent, right? Afterwards, you send this card to the top of their deck. So now you know what the top card of their deck is. You can somewhat set up your field to easily get this guaranteed 1 damage into your opponent's clock. And yeah, that's pretty much the deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it. Yada yada yada.